Well, howdy there, Pipe Pals. How you doing? And you know who this is. I think. Holy Smoking Pipe Padre. And smoking this wonderful Dunhill Church Warden. Yes, indeed. I love this Church Warden. It's a wonderful... See if I can get it to focus. Probably not. No, you're not going to do it. Oh, well. There's a little legacy dot there. And in this wonderful Church Warden, I'm smoking some Boswell's Christmas cookie. And it is delicious. Absolutely. And I'm also enjoying with it a cup of coffee this morning, where we're celebrating the return of the spring rains, which started, well, at least here in Elk Grove about half an hour ago. Ooh, I forgot. I didn't put any. Normally what I do is when I drink coffee, I normally put an ice cube in it, because sometimes, like, especially from Starbucks, it's just way too hot. So I know, anyway, so some people like drinking their beverages at certain temperatures. Certainly I like warm coffee. I love iced coffee in the summertime, certainly. And we've had some beautiful mild weather, although now we're getting the rains, or at least some rains. And boy, do we need them. Okay, well, today is week 4 of the TSC Transformation Super Challenge 300 Challenge. And I'm probably going to maybe put a video or two up in here, show you old Padre trying to do his 300 challenge. The 300 challenge is comprises a 3-mile run, pull-ups, and push-ups. Okay. And I was going to try and do the run. I almost went out yesterday and got one of those GoPro cameras, but I'm holding back only because the thing is, when you start investing in certain types of equipment, let me just kind of enjoy this here. Again, my wonderful Herminator tamper, which I love. Just this thing just is like, I don't know. I love this thing. There's just something so earthy about it. Very, you know, just nothing there except wood. You know, I love it. But the thing is, when you start buying equipment, like I was going to start doing, to videotape outdoor activities, you know, you're going to start getting yourself, and it's not just the camera, but it's the accessories. I don't know if about you, but have you noticed that accessories will really, that's what really gets you? Because in order to get, you know, you buy a certain thing thinking you're going to be able to do something with it, and you can, but you've got to buy the accessories to make it work. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, we're centered. I like being centered. Boy, no. Okay, this is probably the first pipe I've had in about. Oh, actually, I had a pipe yesterday. I drove down to Fairfield to send off my taxes. I had a pipe on the way back on the River Road. And in that, I think I had some Boswell's cupcake. Yeah, cupcake. So I've been kind of doing a Boswell's. I've been in a Boswell's mood. Okay, let's get to it. The TSC challenge again. I might be putting some videos up here. Maybe you can see the old Padre doing his some of his exercises. I would have done the walk or the run, should say, but I just don't have the camera for it yet. And I just oh well, you know, it's a beautiful run through the park that I do, and I just love it. But anyway, didn't film that this morning, but I did film the other two things, as you can see. Okay, well, I am greatly encouraged, I have to say. Last week I hurt myself. I don't know. I knew when I was running last week. I messed up one of my hip flexors muscles, and although it didn't like paralyze me or incapacitate me, it was pretty darn sore. And you know, when you start hurting yourself, and that's what happens sometimes in an exercise program when you start. And even though I've been kind of working up to this for over a year, again, I didn't start running a year ago. All I did was start the intermittent fasting 2 days a week. Then I bumped it up to 3 days a week, and I started walking I started off with a half an hour in the morning. Then I gradually increased that to 45 minutes to an hour, and then around the peak of summer last year, I was walking a mile in the morning. I mean, hour in the morning, an hour in the evening, and then I just kind of stretched it out. So I started off small, steady and easy, and you build from there. And then, about 2 months ago, well, actually, I should say no, a month ago. I mean, I started doing some intermittent running last spring and last summer, but because I was still overweight, I thought, you know what, let's be realistic. Let's don't put that kind of stress on the tendons and the joints. You know, I was still over 200 pounds, and I just thought, you know, that's not wise to be damaging your knees like that. It just doesn't make sense. So anyway, the bottom line was I started actually seriously running 4 weeks ago. So, and I've gradually gone from 2 miles and then 3 miles, and eventually, once I get more acclimated to running again, I'm going to enjoy evening runs again, which is where I really about 20 years ago when I was in seminary and I lost an awful lot of weight. Those evening runs were just absolutely beautiful. They were actually afternoon runs in Palo Alto, Atherton, Menlo Park. Beautiful places to run down there. And there's also beautiful places up here in Elk Grove to run. So just taking advantage of the beautiful, wonderful park system that we have and just enjoying that. Just absolutely enjoying it. And I did go for a night run about a week ago. Absolutely one of the most transcendental things I think I've done in almost 20 years. So absolutely loved it. Oops, wrong end of my tamper. The results this week, I'm surprised. 12 pull-ups. Again, you can do the forward palm or outward facing palm for pull-ups or chin-ups. Both are considered legitimate exercises or for the TSC 300 challenge. And then push-ups, you see, I think I got 46, so I increased by 1. And I basically increased by 1 on both of the events. And the run, well, it didn't do a whole lot there, except I did knock off 10 seconds. So from 29:54 down to 29:44. And I really didn't think I was going to do that well at all because I was hurting. I wasn't feeling good. I was in some discomfort, not pain per se, but I was in discomfort, especially in my hip flexor region there. And it was pretty tender. So I didn't go very fast this week. For an old man, you know. Of course, you remember I have to have my walker and my oxygen mask with me too, so it makes it a little bit harder to go faster. But so that being said, there you go. I've been in, of course, doing the workouts. Just real quick, I'll show you this is one of the workouts here that I did yesterday, and this is just one exercise. There's several that go into a training day. He's got power blocks there too. You can see power blocks. So anyway, that's the the TSC 300 challenge there, and then that's the program on the days of the week that you do. You work out legs on Mondays and back on Wednesdays. You do your cardio on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Fridays are your arm days, and then Saturday you take the test. And Sunday is kind of a day off, and I'm going to definitely take it tomorrow. Actually, I'm going to, and also in addition to that, I also do some other exercises in addition to these that I do. So it's not just these exercises, but I also am doing some other strength training exercises, mild strength training, just to kind of get the flexibility. But anyway, I'm really encouraged, only because I was in pain and I wasn't feeling as confident. That's funny. I wasn't feeling emotionally and psychologically. I just was not feeling that super confidence going into it this week. This is week 4. It's a 10-week little program. And I just, my diet hasn't been the best. It hasn't been the worst, but it hasn't been, I would say, the best. I don't know if I've gained anything, but I don't think I've actually lost anything this week. I'll be surprised tomorrow if I actually lose anything. So anyway, I guess my psychology going into the test this weekend wasn't that great. But I'm saying all that simply because sometimes I heard somebody tell me that sometimes your body is ahead of your mind. Your body is actually capable of doing a lot more than you think you can do. Now, sometimes I tell you, you can think yourself into a new way of living, but sometimes you just have to just act your way into a new way of living. So I was surprised that I was able to respond physically, even though psychologically I just was not in that zone where I'm going, yeah, I can do this. There was a lot of doubt of thinking, gosh, I'm probably going to not do so good this week because I'm just not feeling good. So, but my body surprised me, I guess I'm trying to say. So we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, week 4, TSC 300 challenge this weekend, and positive by the results. Even in Chris Kruger's 10-week transformation, there was one week where he had to go up and run in the snow, and his scores reflected that. I mean, they didn't go down, they actually went up. I think the run went up by several minutes because he was running in the snow. He did the best he could. He did it, and that's what gave me the kind of the motivation, if you will, to kind of keep going, even though I'm thinking, man, this week is just going to just be not good. And you don't like to face failure. You don't like to face setbacks. And that's what I was looking at, kind of thinking, oh, I'm going to face a setback, and I just don't really want to do that. But, that's part of it, too. It's part of it, too. So don't be afraid of the setbacks, Now, not every week you're going to probably, kick it to the curb. You're going to have some times where, whether you're not feeling good, maybe you're sick, maybe you had the flu, whatever. But you do the best you can on that day, and then you let it go. You kind of say, okay, well, this is, not to make excuses, but you stay in the game. I guess that's it. You just stay in the game. Okay, the other thing I want to talk about real quick. A lot of you have been really kind. I celebrated my 3-year YouTube anniversary. I put the video up a couple days early over the weekend, but or April Fools. And there's an April Fool's joke right there for you. Okay, let me go ahead and stop this and I'll try it again. Hold on a second. Okay, folks, I'm back. We'll see how long this goes. I'm not going to make it much longer. But, so, old TSC Challenge, week 4, part 2. Okay. I just want to talk, again, part of the whole TSC thing is not just trying to lose weight and get six-pack abs and get stronger and fitter, and that's all part of it, certainly. But, part of it's just about your life, It's just trying to live life and enjoy life, really. And the philosophy is if you have a fairly healthy body, you're going to be able to enjoy more life, And there's a lot of truth to that. But so one of the things that I like to do, it's like it was an early cheat day for me. I like to go to the show. A little confession here. And I like to, you know, get a bucket of popcorn. Yep, that's right. Super carbs there. Probably some trans fat. I don't know if they're doing the good fats now or the trans fats for the cooking of the popcorn, but it's just not good for you. I know that. And maybe get some icy. I love those cherry ices and a couple of dogs, you know. So I noticed late last night, about 10:30, they had that Noah movie. I was tempted, and I gave in to temptation, so I was able to get there, and I watched the Noah movie. Noah? And if you haven't seen it, and you're looking forward to seeing it, you know, great. Fun. Action. Big time action. You know, action-packed movie, okay? But I want to say, and I'm not trying to be a stodgy old fundamentalist, but I will say, as I watched that movie, if you're looking for a faith-based, quote unquote, that's probably a term we don't use much anymore since good old George W. is gone. But if you're looking for a faith-based message in this movie, you're not going to find it. Is that a bad thing? Yeah, probably not. But again, a lot of times what is interesting is, especially in our culture today, how do I say this? They took certainly a Bible movie, a Bible theme, big Bible story, and they did I would say they did an excellent job of making it almost like a non-Bible story. They added a lot of fantasy stuff that has nothing to do with the original Noah's Ark story. Now, again, I'm not telling you don't go watch it. It's heretical. I'm not saying anything like that. So don't hear me hating on this movie. I like Russell Crowe. I think he's a darn good actor. I've seen him play many different characters, and although like Tom Cruise or Nicolas Cage, you know, you always know it's going to be Russell Crowe. He does seem to have a layer that goes that goes with the special character. It's not like Russell Crowe playing all these different characters and it's always Russell Crowe, like Nicolas Cage or Tom Cruise. He kind of brings a nuance to each of the characters, so they're different characters. Okay, which is good. I think it's a good. Obviously, it's a good thing for a character actor to be able to do. But the writers of the story, I want to say, pretty much made it. It's not really. If you're taking your kids to see this movie and you're hoping to kind of introduce them to the story of Noah's Ark that's in the Bible, well, it's not that. I mean, it's, yeah, there's a Noah and there's an ark and there's a flood and there are animals. And to be honest, the narrative in the Bible is not extensive. Oh, there we go. Again, let me try this one more time and I'm going to cut it short. Okay, well, we're back again. I'm trying QuickTime 7 this time, so it may be even a completely different aspect ratio and everything. Okay, so let me finish up my little comments here on the Noah movie. Again, I'm not here to hate the movie, pan the movie. You know, if I gave it a movie rating, I'd give it a B+ for sure. But I just think that it's important to just note, just making a comment, that it's not necessarily, you know, a movie that's going to maybe teach or help to promote the concept in the story of Noah and the ark. And if you go watch the story, go watch the movie, and compare it with the story in the Bible, they're different. That's all I want to say. Are there some good quote-unquote messages in it? I think movies with messages are kind of, I wouldn't say they're passé, but I think people avoid them now because they're just too politically charged these days. You know, you don't want to put too much of a heavy message in a movie because you're going to probably offend somebody that doesn't subscribe to that quote-unquote message. So anyway, but it's fun. It's a good bucket of popcorn movie, and get some milk duds if you want to, and icy, and just sit back and have some fun with your family. But if you are somebody who is a faith-based type of a person, you know, on the way home, your kids are probably going to ask you some really interesting questions. I will say that, and you're going to have your time. You're going to have some interesting conversations, nonetheless, to have with your kids and your family and your friends at the water cooler. Okay? Okay, that's all I'm going to say this week. Thanks for watching. I just want to say in closing, though, thanks for all the wonderful comments many of you left on my 3-year anniversary video. I'm going to try to get back to some of you and respond. Again, I thank you for that. Well, somebody asked about my my joystick back there. It is a Logitech, and I play X-Plane. Well, I don't play X-Plane, but I pretend I'm flying an airplane in X-Plane. It's a Mac-based flight simulator. So that's why I have that, and that's what I use it for. But I don't get a chance to do that much X-Plane these days because I've been busy with Lent. All right, take care, and light up your world, and light up your pipe sometime, and enjoy. Bye-bye.